Welcome everyone to the webinar. We'll be getting started very shortly. Hi everyone, thank you so much for joining NeuroFlash's webinar, The Change in Retail and Increased Demand for Virtual Service. We are excited to have you join us today and for us to talk to you about our new product, the Virtual Personal Shopper, and how we're helping retailers reignite demand as well as keep up with the demand of their digitally affluent customers by leveraging Salesforce. Let me quickly go over some housekeeping rules for the webinar today. After this webinar, we'll be sending the recording out to you all for your convenience. On the Zoom platform, to submit your questions, you'll see beneath the screen a bar pull up. In this bar, please click the Q&A button to submit questions anytime throughout the webinar. We'll have a 10-minute Q&A at the end and can schedule a one-on-one discovery session with you as the next step if need be. We'll also be sending a survey to you after this webinar for you to submit any feedback. Let me introduce myself. My name is Michaela McCarthy. I am the event marketing lead here at NeuroFlash. I'm really excited for you to hear from these great speakers today. So without further ado, I'll hand this over to Casey.
Thanks, Michaela. Hi, everyone. I'm Casey Lemaire. I am the Director of Marketing here at NeuroFlash. Really excited to be here with you today. A bit of a background on myself. I have a big passion for retail. I help NeuroFlash with a lot of their retail initiatives and building out packages to really help retailers leverage the full potential of Salesforce and how they digitally transform in this new normal that we're facing. So super excited to kind of learn with you today, and I'll pass it off to Eric to introduce himself.
Thanks, Casey, and thank you everyone for joining. Eric Sang with NeuroFlash, Director of Solutions Engineering. I work very closely with a lot of our retail customers to really define their vision across lots of different digital transformation type projects. And we're really excited to show how the personal shopper can really fit with this vision as well. So what we'll be covering today, we wanted to outline a quick agenda. We'll be doing a quick overview of our company and a quick introduction to NeuroFlash. We're also going to go over, why the personal shopper. We're going to give a bit of an overview of the actual solution in the program, and then we'll actually move right into a demo so you can see it in action. We'll also be moving more towards what we believe is a rapid deployment type offering from NeuroFlash and how you can get started. And then, as Michaela mentioned, we're going to wrap up with some question and answer and some closing comments. To give you a little background on NeuroFlash, we are a gold consulting partner of Salesforce and really the leading AI and Service Cloud partner. And really what that means is digital transformation is in our blood. So our founding team came from Nuance Communications. If you're not familiar with Nuance, they were an early stage provider of natural language processing and actually powered Apple Siri. And really from there, we actually, our executive team moved on to Haywire to lead go-to-market and product strategy. And Haywire is actually now the SMS and Facebook Messenger options within Salesforce messaging there. And really, we're kind of culminating our experiences from the past and bringing that into the Salesforce ecosystem. And our kind of three main pillars that we focus on are Einstein bots and digital channels. And we'll show you some of that today. Service Cloud and Contact Center with her unique background, specifically with contact centers. And then lastly, we've really created a really strong field service Lightning and Salesforce Einstein team. You're going to see a few features of the Lightning Scheduler from our expertise on the FSL platform, and also some of those Salesforce Einstein features as well. We have an exceptional reputation in the Salesforce ecosystem. So we have over 85 five-star App Exchange reviews and over a 9.9 CSAT score from our customers. And our goal is always to exceed our customers' expectations and enable them to exceed, in turn, their customers' expectations from there. So with that, I'm going to pass it to Casey, and she's going to give us an overview on the personal shopper.
Thanks, Eric. Hi, everyone. So before we go in and define what the personal shopper is, I want to first ground us in why we're here today. So obviously things are changing, things have been changing, but there's one trend in particular that we want to hone in on today. And it's really this change in consumerism, this change in shopping habits, this change in consumer behavior, where things are digital, things are moving digital, things have been digital. And today, customers are demanding these virtual options to consult with product experts, get advice, and also find the right items, all in a safe and convenient way. This also includes, engaging with the brands when they want, how they want. So digital channels, things like that. And just to ground this in a few other industries, you've also got groceries and healthcare. People can order groceries from their couch. They can do health visits straight from their own couch. things are virtual. And these are just two industries that are doing well. And I don't know about you guys, I've ordered Instacart groceries for the last 4 months. And honestly, I don't think I'm gonna go back to the grocery store because this is so much more convenient for me and my lifestyle. I save so much time. So, but what I wanna highlight here is that, spoiler alert, this is not new. This is not because of COVID. This digital transformation, this shift in virtual options is not due to COVID. It's really due to long-time trends that have been building. And COVID-19, with the shutdown of stores, just lit the fire under these trends and really brought them to an increasingly important aspect within retail and how consumers are shopping today. But this also presents a really good challenge and opportunity for retailers to really take advantage of the situation. So the challenges that retailers are facing, many rely on their in-store and personalized shopping service to really stand apart from competitors, to lure people into their stores on a daily basis when stores are open. But because of COVID, when we talk about this first pillar, brick and mortar shops are closed, pop-up shops were shut down. That face-to-face interaction is completely gone. So you have just virtual experiences. Then you have, as we are starting to begin this journey to reopen, now we don't know if there's going to be a second wave or not. We're beginning this journey to reopening, starting to reopen our stores, let customers back in. There's a capacity limit. I've already seen the lines lining outside my favorite stores here in the Boston area. So this is already something you have to figure out, how are we going to provide a differentiated experience when you've got a long queue outside your storefront. And then, as we mentioned, this third pillar is really that demand for virtual options. Like I said, this is not a trend that was brought about from COVID. It was just COVID that brought out the importance of why this trend is important. So I think this opportunity is, how do retailers adapt to provide safe, convenient, and yet powerful digital experiences for their customers? And enter the personal shopper. So what is the personal shopper? So the personal shopper is a suite of Salesforce products combined into a single package to reimagine the way you can provide shopping services to your customers. This includes the Salesforce Lightning Scheduler. This includes Service Cloud, Einstein Bots for automation, digital channels, maybe even Marketing Cloud, and then third-party video systems to be able to integrate that into your Salesforce Service Cloud console. With this package, you're going to be able to power scheduled, virtual, and/or in-store shopping experiences with your customers. But what does that look like? What could that experience really be? And really, maybe it's a dedicated time slot for different activities. It's a 15-minute quick product question where I kind of know what I want, but I just need help finding this one thing, or I have a question about a size or a question about a color. It could be a 45-minute full consultation where, I don't know what I want, but here's the lane. This is what I'm kind of looking for. For example, I'm in a wedding later this year and I'm a bridesmaid. The bride has basically said, you can choose any dress you want. It just has to be this color. So I've got to now hunt and shop for a dress that I like. And that is an opportunity for me to do that virtually even, or a scheduled in-store experience. And that kind of leads us into, how could these experiences really play out in terms of a journey? So it could be a virtual two-way video where the customers can tour the store virtually with an associate, or maybe it's touring the online brand store, but I'm communicating face-to-face with someone. They're helping me to drive a mood board. Maybe I am a bride and I need to figure out my story, or there's this opportunity for face-to-face interaction. Then there's an in-store one-on-one shopping session where I get to schedule a visit and actually come in on my appointment slot. So you see that line that's lining down, I actually get to skip that line and say, oh no, I showed up at my appointment time. And this offers a really personalized experience between a single customer and a store associate. And then when we go to this co-browse one-way video, maybe it's a customer joins an associate online, and the associate's bubbly showcases the brand, the story of your stores and your product lines, and they're helping guide customers through the website to help them find. So for example, I'm trying to find athletic clothes and I want this type of athletic legging, and this associate can ask me what are my requirements and help guide me towards the top, middle, and funnel where I'm gonna find what I want, add to my cart, and maybe even help me check out. But this doesn't have to be a retail example. This doesn't have to be an apparel example. This can go off across many different areas within the retail industry. It could be cosmetics, where I have a look that I'm trying to create and I need to figure out what products I need to buy or what products work together to help me create that look. It could be furniture. I recently had to buy a bed frame. I needed to figure out, maybe I needed to go in store and it was really hard to navigate what times I could even go in. Formal wear, I gave the example as I'm a bridesmaid later this year. I gave an example on the previous slide. It could also be electronics. I broke my phone, or I wanted to upgrade and I want to change my plan, and a way to be able to provide that, a personal face-to-face interaction. Plans can be confusing. That stuff can be confusing. Having someone walk you through that virtually or in person is very helpful. But it doesn't have to be these four. This can apply to many different industries within retail, many different sub-industries, many different experiences. So this solution can be customized for your brand, for your experiences, and for your customers. But the real power of this solution is that it's nestled into Salesforce. And this really powers that 360-degree view within your Salesforce platform. So for example, we'll start in this, this left-hand corner with Marketing Cloud. Maybe you have Marketing Cloud, maybe you don't. But this could be the start of your customer journey, your 360, where you're going to send announcements about this new service through your marketing channels to alert customers of this new offering. Maybe that's a drip campaign to VIP customers, or maybe that's just social media promotion. And then they're going to go through the scheduling process on the Lightning Scheduler. That's going to happen within Service Cloud. So all that information is going to be nestled within the Service Cloud console, within Service Cloud. That data, whether it's a new customer or an existing customer, you're going to now be able to collect that as a case and add that to your data, which then powers that right-hand corner pillar here, data. Now you have a documented history of all your customer data located in one central location. You now know who your customers are, what they want, and you can use this data to later retarget, re-engage, or even upsell at a later date. And this is powerful. Retailers, you could have 50 or 100 people come into your brick and mortar stores. And maybe you'll be able to capture a handful of them because they signed up for a VIP card, or they engaged and gave you their information. In this case, if you had 50 to 100 people who scheduled virtual appointments or in-store appointments, you actually know who these people are. You could capture all 100% of those people and who they are, what they want, and that's really powerful. But seeing is believing, I think, with this solution. So I'm going to hand it off to Eric to really demonstrate what this looks like in the Salesforce ecosystem.
Excellent. Thanks, Casey. So as Casey mentioned, we're going to start at the top of the journey with Marketing Cloud, and really how do we start engaging our customers and driving more understanding of this actual program. So you'll see here on my screen, we can actually start leveraging Marketing Cloud, sending out things like email campaigns, drip campaigns to really notify customers of this experience. So today our persona is going to be Jane Smith, and she's going to be our customer, and she's a loyal NeuroFlash Outfitters customer. You'll see the outreach notifies her that they're now offering personal shopping sessions to customers, both virtually and in store. And quickly and easily, Jane can see that there's a link that she can click on to actually access this personal shopper offering. And when she clicks that link, she's actually brought into the NeuroFlash Outfitters community, where she can see the option to actually go ahead and schedule her appointment. So this is all leveraging Salesforce Lightning Scheduler, and we've actually surfaced this right up on the community. So today she's looking at the personal shopper offering. As discussed in that email, she can either choose between a virtual or an in-store consultation. And at the moment, Jane is more comfortable perhaps with a virtual consultation, so she selects that option. And from here, she can actually enter in her location. And this is particularly important because although it is virtual, NeuroFlash Outfitters wants to make sure that she can build a relationship with the store associate so that when she does decide to return to the store, perhaps she already has a pre-existing relationship and she can go in for more product advice from there. Now, based on the appropriate skills and location that's required for the personal shopper offering, we can now actually cross the availability and see what resources are available from there. We see here that Lucy Jones is a store associate from NeuroFlash Outfitters in Burlington, and she can actually now go ahead and select the availability for her appointment. So again, this is leveraging the intelligent scheduling application from Lightning Scheduler, and Jane can go ahead and actually select a time that suits her needs. The final step is she's actually going to fill out just a quick form with her information, and that way she can get in touch with NeuroFlash. So once she enters in her email and her phone information, she can also opt into other communication platforms here. But once we fill that out, a few quick easy steps, and you can see here that the appointment is actually all set to go. And from Jane's perspective, we can also send out some email confirmations. So you can see, again, with some outbound campaigns or some reminders, we can notify her of her upcoming appointment. She can also see who she's meeting with. Perhaps she knows Lucy Jones, and so she can understand who she's meeting with at the time. And then we give her some information in regards to the actual virtual session, including a link to join at her time. And we notify her that she'll also receive a text message 5 minutes before that as a reminder. So if we fast forward maybe perhaps a few days closer to the actual appointment, she'll receive again that SMS notification letting her know we can't wait for the virtual session appointment here. And in this case, Jane realizes she actually really needs to reschedule this appointment. She actually has a conflict at that time. So using the Salesforce Einstein bot in Lightning Scheduler, she can actually go ahead and reschedule. So she can say something like, I need to reschedule. And leveraging the Einstein bot with Lightning Scheduler, we're able to understand and interpret that she needs to reschedule her appointment. We can go back, associate back to that contact, and we know it's Jane. We know what her appointment is set at, and we know here are actually some other available slots that might work. And quickly and easily, she can actually go ahead and indicate that she wants option 3 perhaps, and that's going to be a good time for her. We can also update things on that actual appointment. So if she wanted to change that to perhaps to an in-person or a virtual, she can indicate that from here. In this case, she's going to keep it a virtual appointment. And just like that, 2 quick responses on her terms and with her own convenience, she's actually able to go ahead and reschedule right on SMS. So as you can see, you can place this on a website, on a community. You could also leverage Lightning Scheduler with Einstein bots and really create these types of unique omni-channel type experiences for customers there. Again, we can present a link and Jane can actually join this via her mobile device or on her desktop as well. And you'll see again, we can still create more email communication. We know that's definitely going to be a vital part of this program, is making sure that customers are constantly notified and reminded of these appointments so they have opportunities to reschedule and really get more involved in the process from there. So let's fast forward to the actual day of the appointment. And Jane knows when it's her time that she can go ahead and join the meeting. What happens on Lucy's side as the store associate? So here we're showing the Service Cloud console view. And within the calendar application, Lucy can see that there's already been a virtual shopping appointment scheduled at this time. And you'll see it's been updated to that rescheduled appointment slot. And we have some basic information. We know it's Jane is the customer. Lucy's going to be trained on leveraging cases within Salesforce Service Cloud to really drive these types of sessions. And you'll see here, we know the case is a virtual personal shopper. And depending on the Service Cloud console view, we can actually now start tying in more integrations and understanding a more complete view of who Jane is. So for example, we could perhaps tie into an order management system, see what Jane has purchased in the past, and get a sense of some of the products and styles that she might be interested in. And then from here, we're showing ScreenMe today, who we're partnered with, and this is going to be the two-way video and co-browse application to power these types of sessions. And Casey's actually going to play the role of Jane today. So you'll see as Lucy, the agent, she can actually go ahead and initiate the ScreenMe and the two-way video session and wait for Jane to join. And so in a few seconds, then we'll see Casey here. Casey's going to play the role of Jane. And how this interaction might work could start with a few questions and a few introductions there. So, hi, Jane. Thanks for joining the session. I saw you purchased a few T-shirts and jeans a few months ago. How can I help you today?
I'm really looking for a few other, articles of clothing, a few pairs of T-shirts, maybe a few pairs of shoes to add to my summer wardrobe.
Okay. I think I have a few ideas for you. You should see a button on your screen to share your screen from there. And then if you can go on the NeuroFlash Outfitters website, I can help you pick out some products. And from here, we can interact, ask a few more questions, guide them through the site, provide promotion codes, discounts, add to the cart, and really help the customer complete their purchasing behavior, and then also kind of complete the feedback loop from there. So you'll see one of the main benefits we have here is that we have the ScreenMe session embedded within the Service Cloud console. So there's no need to toggle between different types of screens, and we're all consolidating the experience right within Service Cloud. And we can actually record these sessions and associate it to a case, right? So we have all of the sessions, the videos, all the dialogue that's happening, and it gives us a great way to kind of improve and optimize the sessions from there. At the conclusion of the session, We can go ahead and end the session. Again, Lucy could go back to her calendar, see if she has more virtual sessions for the day, if she needs to continue with some other tasks. And then we can also, again, close the feedback loop as mentioned and start sending more emails in regards to the session. So we can send a quick recap. Here are some products that we discussed or what we added to the cart here. Again, give some more promotion codes, perhaps give a link to schedule additional appointments, and then also provide links for surveys as we continue to optimize and grow this type of program out. Lastly, what we can do is start building out and aggregating some of the data and build out a virtual shopping executive dashboard here. So a basic view of the performance of the program. So we can start looking at things like the amount of source revenue that we're generating from these activities, start segmenting by perhaps a few stores or a few of the store associates that are helping customers out and start evaluating the performance from there. And then more from a behavior standpoint, understand, are we adding more products to carts during these sessions? Are we helping customers convert and complete their purchasing? And then from an overall program perspective, what does the attendance rate look like? Are we having a lot of drop-offs? Do we need to have more programs and activities to try to re-engage and keep customers in a more communicative pattern to make sure they attend? And start looking at customer satisfaction surveys as well. So evaluating how the program's working. Are there certain parts of tools and assets that need to be improved, or certain aspects of training for the store associates to really optimize the program from there. And with that, I'm going to jump back here and we're going to talk a little bit about the solution packaging and pricing. So we've created kind of a rapid deployment for the personal shopper solution. And it's really intended to give a quick 2 to 3 week type rapid deployment. And so the base package really consists of what we showed earlier in the demo. So that's the inbound scheduling capability, leveraging Lightning Scheduler. So that will enable you to surface the offering to customers to schedule new appointments, modify appointments, or cancel appointments. We will also offer best practices to be able to onboard and train your agents or store associates with the new functionality, and also provide some robust testing for the solution. And we also provide support with NeuroFlash office hours. And again, that will be certainly critical as this is rolled out through different regions and stores there. And some of the add-on options that we saw today, Einstein bots could be used and leveraged for scheduling as well. So if you want to offer this personal shopping scheduling solution on SMS, as we showed, that could certainly be leveraged. And there are certainly options around two-way video. So we've shown ScreenMeet today, but we've also partnered with SiteCall and Glance, and a lot of these video applications will have varying features. And so there's certainly flexibility from that standpoint. And to give a quick sense of timeline, the intent here is to kind of give a quick phase one, something that can be spun up and we can get up and running for you. And so we tried to make it more of a 2 to 3 week type timeline here, but it does follow our typical project methodology to make sure we really uncover and discover what are the right requirements, the design to build this experience out. I think as Casey mentioned, the use cases will vary from industry to industry. So we want to make sure we spend some quality time understanding that, but then really move more into deploying the solution and really servicing customers on those channels as quickly as possible. With that, I'm going to pass it over to Casey.
Thanks, Eric. Thank you guys so much for this presentation. I guess the one thing we wanted to make sure we left you with here today is that this is not just a COVID solution. This is not just a getting back to work solution. This is a digital transformation solution. Every day we're helping brands connect the offline to the online while providing powerful experiences virtually and in-store to better serve this shopping shift for your customers. And we're here to help. Get in contact with us. We've got a lot of expertise within this industry. Eric, if you go to the next slide. We want to help you. We see this every day. We work with retail brands. We help them troubleshoot and find innovative solutions leveraging Salesforce. So get in touch with us. You've got Brett Chisholm, our CEO, and also another one of our sales team here on Patrick Rowski. Let us help you. Get in contact with us and we'll put together a free custom demo for you. And with that, I'll pass it on to Michaela to kind of lead us through some Q&A.
Thanks, Eric and Casey, for such a great session. We got some great questions, so let's dive into our Q&A. So Eric, the first question is for you. What is the advantage of this solution over a third-party providers?
Absolutely. I think it definitely goes back to what we believe is the power of the 360-degree view of the customer. So really leveraging a complete solution that's consolidated on the Salesforce platform to really enable kind of both ease of administration and maintenance of the product, but also from a customer standpoint, we know there's varying levels of touch points throughout the customer journey. And so being able to manage that and service that right within Salesforce is definitely a huge benefit. And as we're capturing all this data within that journey, being able to report and analyze and optimize and continue to improve is certainly a factor that plays into that.
Our next questionnaire is, what are some of the challenges with handling rescheduling inquiries with customers, and how do you address those?
Sure. I think there's just certainly a few factors that fall into this. And the way we see it is to make sure that there's a clear communication plan to customers and notifying them how they can reschedule. So as we showed today, sending them email notifications and confirmations of appointments, and then also leveraging other channels like SMS so they have the ability to kind of quickly and easily schedule on the go. We find if it's too difficult to reschedule, customers may feel inclined to not even cancel or reschedule their appointment. So making it nice and seamless for them and getting their kind of buy-in to encourage them to do that certainly plays a role in that.
Thanks, Eric. Another question is, how do you train users on the usage of the product and platform?
Yeah, I think we know that this is certainly kind of a new offering, and identifying the right users, whether that be contact center agents or store associates to use this, and the amount of change that would have to go into that is certainly a major factor. So we try to make it nice and easy in terms of building out, again, a consolidated product and offering here, but then also offer more hands-on training sessions where we can kind of test and pilot this out, conduct more research, and really get in stores with some of the store associates and understand their journey as well, and really use that to compile the right requirements and make sure we can build out a robust training session when we go live there.
Thanks, Eric. Casey, this question is for you. From a marketing perspective, how do you drive awareness towards a program like this?
Yeah, so I think it really depends on what your marketing objectives are. What audiences do you want to target for this specifically? Is it your VIP or your card holders to drive awareness there? Is it just the general promotion? So I think it's really understanding what your goals of this are and then leveraging the proper channels to execute that, whether that be drip campaigns on Carta or leveraging Social Studio or any other marketing automation that you guys have within your own brands.
Thanks, Casey. Eric, another question for you. Can we simply use Zoom or another video conferencing tool for the virtual sessions?
There's certainly a lot of options out there when it comes to video conferencing, and what we see is that there certainly needs to be a tight integration with Salesforce for the offering. So we showed ScreenMeet and SiteCall and Glance as some of the options that really have tight integrations to Salesforce. We believe, again, both from a maintenance perspective, it's going to be much easier to scale and grow from there. But also it's more of a compelling offering around the feature set and tool set, as those tools are more intended towards this kind of personal shopper offering versus Zoom and some of those other video applications might be more meant for kind of corporate usage from there. So certainly depends, but there's certainly options as well to leverage other external providers there.
Awesome. Thanks, Eric. How do I manage compliance and privacy with this type of offering?
I think the great thing from what we're showing today is, again, everything is stored right within Salesforce, so we can follow similar compliance guidelines from that perspective. And as you saw in the session today, a lot of the products have different features. So if we don't want customers to be seen on camera, we can toggle those types of options. If we want to force it so that the store associate or only the agent can share their screen versus the customer sharing their screen, those are certainly options as well. And a lot of our partners, such as Glance, actually offer more robust features, such as data masking. So for example, if Casey was showing her screen and she's about to check out, we could actually mask sensitive information or fields so that the store associate or agent couldn't see perhaps Casey's address or her credit card information. So lots of different ways it could be addressed, and the products have some of the tool sets to support that functionality.
So we are at time, so this will be our last question of the day. Any questions we didn't get to answer, we'll reach out to you personally and answer them. But can we start, the question is, can we start with a few locations and then grow from there?
Yes, absolutely. And certainly something we'd actually encourage from the NerdFlash side is best practice definitely pick a few locations perhaps to test out the type of functionality with. And then the great thing with the Salesforce platform is we can continue to iterate and grow and scale from there and add more and more features. So we can start small, make sure we spread word across social and email channels to customers, drive more engagement and adoption, do a few test runs, get some feedback from customers and store associates, make improvements and adjustments, and then really start to prioritize what we think is really kind of the valuable points of this type of solution here. So certainly something we recommend, and definitely a great approach there.
Well, thank you so much, Eric and Casey, for going through this presentation and those questions. And thank you so much for everyone for joining our webinar today. We know your time is important, and we appreciate you spending this time with us. We want to help you. If you're looking to get started on your virtual personal shopper journey, be sure to reach out to us. We are doing a free demos to see how this solution could look like for your company. Please reach out to Brett Chisholm or Patrick Roski with any questions and to set up a time to talk. Their contact information is on the slide that Casey went out, and I'll be sending out this recording afterwards as well. So thank you so much for joining us today, and we're looking forward to talking with you soon. Bye.
Thank you, everyone. Bye.
Thank you.